Welcome back to a new video. So yesterday was a really productive workout, and today I'm hoping to have the same. I didn't do a morning session or really any sort of walking or training this morning. I had a pretty busy morning, like I mentioned in the last video. I had orientation for my new school, as well as a test for my grad school class. So I took care of all of that in the morning, but didn't really feel like coming out here an additional time. Plus, when I looked at what I actually had written, it kind of didn't make sense to do multiple of the same exercise. So let me dive into that. So the first exercise is going to be the muscle snatch plus overhead squat, and it's going to be up to 50 kilograms, 5 sets, 3 plus 3. So that would be the same thing I would do in like a morning session if I was going to do it like yesterday. So I didn't really feel motivated to come out and do that. Plus, like I said, I was busy doing other stuff anyway. And then no foot, no hook clean plus overhead press, and that will be up to 65 kilograms for 3 sets of 3 plus 3. I think for a lot of the cleans and clean and jerk work in general will probably be 3 sets instead of the 5, since you can do more in the snatch. But with the clean jerk work, probably less, especially because after that first clean jerk style movement, so the clean and overhead press, I'm gonna have clean plus push press at 85 for 3 sets of 3 plus 3. So quite a lot of volume still of the cleans and of the overhead work. And then finish with some clean pulls at 115 for 5 sets of 3. I do want to give myself the flexibility prior to the session to potentially do additional sets of the cleans. So up to 5 sets, so 3 to 5 sets, probably will be 3 based on how I'm feeling. And then with the clean pulls, no more additional sets, but I could do 2 additional reps. So it could be a 5x5 instead of a 5x3, but I'll kind of play that by feel. So it should actually be a really quick session. It's still 90 degrees. And I don't think it doesn't feel quite like that today out here, although I'm sweating right now and I have literally just been sitting here. So not necessarily thinking that will be the case, or will be my feeling I have at the end of the session. So hopefully another productive session with that. Outside of that, so I mentioned the couple things I had to do this morning. So I'm being pretty busy this summer, getting ready for my new position and grad school classes, working my master's. I don't know the correct term for that, but whatever. I have a master's class. And I was looking potentially, and this is very tentative, at buying a new car. There's nothing wrong with the current car that I have, but it'd be nice to get one that's a bit newer and has less miles on it. I saw a Toyota Corolla that has 14,000 miles, and it was like listed at 22,000, which is obviously a decent chunk of money. But I would obviously be able to finance it. And hopefully, if I talked with my bank where I have my loan for the house, I'd be able to hopefully do something with my home equity and get a really good loan with that. But that kind of just depends on if the financing works out, if the price works out, and if I'm able to negotiate the price down or maybe negotiate additional features with it. I've never tried to buy a car. The car I got with my parents when I graduated college, and I haven't tried to do anything since then, which I'm very blessed with that for sure. But now that I'm older, my credit's even better than when I finished college, which I've always had really good credit, thankfully. If you ever have kids, buy them a credit, if you trust them, I should say, get them a credit card and then pay off that credit card when they're buying random stuff that you would buy for them anyway and build their credit. So my parents did when I was like 15 or 16. Once I got my license, they gave me a credit card, and the credit card, they monitored it because it was theirs, but it was in my name. So then I would get gas or whatever stuff, normal kids would get. Thankfully, I wasn't a bad kid, so I didn't buy a bunch of random stuff. But whatever I would get, my parents would pay off that card because I was still living with them, and then it built my credit up. So that was a huge advantage I had, just as a kid, because I didn't have to do anything. I just had to, not waste their money on stuff. But when they're looking at it, you're not really tempted to do that. But that's the workout for today. I'm hoping that the car thing works out, because the car actually looked pretty nice. I think I mentioned a Toyota Camry. Definitely I want to look towards the Toyota. I've heard good things about them, and definitely want to go used. I've looked at new ones, but they're like more than $30,000, and it could be like 35 for like 2025, and I'm not really about that. Like 2022 seems like a good enough, and that mileage being under 15,000 seems really good. So hoping that works out, but who knows? I'm sure the dealership will be, chasing me around to do that. I think the biggest thing I have to figure out is if I can get the purchase price down a little bit, and if I can get a better loan from my bank than I would from the dealership. But who knows with that. We'll figure that out. And a nice thing is my roommate works in the car industry. He works for warranty was warranty. I think he does like shocks and stuff now for a different car company, but he's very familiar with cars and stuff, which is nice to have that right in my house. So I'll definitely be discussing with him and figuring that out. But hopefully sooner rather than later, I have a new car, maybe for the next school year starts. But we'll talk to you at the end of the video, and hopefully I do everything as per the plan, other than maybe the additional sets and reps that I mentioned that I have some leeway for, and have another productive session. But I'm sure I'll be very sweaty at the end when I talk to you again. But we'll see at the end of the, I'll see you all at the end of the workout. Well, I got it all done, and as promised, I am very sweaty, as I anticipated that I would be. Let me get this fixed. So I did the pulls in the back of the platform to help wear out the back of it, not the same part the whole time. I should do it every time I do pulls. Sometimes I forget or I'm too lazy to. Usually a combination of the two, but whew, did all the sets as prescribed. I didn't do additional ones as I gave myself the leeway to do, but I think the 3 sets for the cleans, that feels like sufficient, especially for both. I didn't use straps for the lighter no foot, no hook cleans. Obviously for the no hook, it would make sense to use straps and then call them no hook. But for the clean and push presses, I actually use straps for those. And mostly did it not for really technical reasons, but more so just to really, I guess it is a technique reason, but to really kind of punch my elbows under and to kind of stretch out my front rack as much as I can. The only sort of shoulder discomfort I experienced today was actually just on the overhead pressing, not on the snatch stuff or the push press stuff, which is interesting. So I guess it's really just like a little bit off my shoulders. Like that's probably the most painful position for me right now. But if I'm going past it, like for a jerk or a push press, I don't feel anything. Or for a snatch, it's like 99% there. So all of this light stuff will be good for that as well. But I am very wore out, very tired. I'm going to hang a little bit on, let me write this down. You can see I can write with my left hand too. Hand's all sweaty. I'm not going to put the bar up to hang. I'm going to use there's a wooden beam. And so it's not going to be 100% of my body weight, but just stretching a little bit. So a little bit of the hangs, but I want to make sure that I do at least a little bit. I usually do it as a warm up or do a little bit for it to warm up, but I want to do a little bit longer at the end just to continue to stretch out the shoulder and try to keep everything moving in the right direction as far as the recovery of that. I think there's anything else. No, I'm very gassed. Was not very difficult. It's a very oxymoronic feeling that the exercises themselves aren't feeling too bad. Like the clean and push presses were, I guess, slightly challenging, but it was more so the focus of getting my elbows under and make sure they're in the right position. But the weights, nothing felt really that heavy, but because it's so hot and I was working out so quick, definitely was wearing me out very quickly. I did everything, I think, under an hour. What time is it now? Just over, I guess, just slightly over an hour. Depending on when I started the session. So a very quick one to do 4 exercises and to do a lot of sets for each one. Heard back from the car place. I guess they have to do service and stuff to it, so I might be able to test drive it later this week. But yeah, talk to my bank too to see if I can get a nice loan. But I am gassed, so I'm gonna go stretch and go eat. So I'm gonna go take care of that. Talk to you all in the next one. Peace.